Tell me a little bit
P.T.
about this
Barnum.
guy. Yeah.
Connected to the cosmos, poet, capitalist, silver-tongued, soothsaying guy who thinks he's the messiah to the Mail Review universe and ready to take it over.
And he's like the ultimate seducer in more ways than one. Not just the people in the room, but the people who work for him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he's the grandpapa. He's the mentor. He's the he's the guy you can't ever really pin down and get the straight answer from, especially when it deals with money. But get back to you, and all of a sudden, I know these people that you talk to them, and they will all of a sudden the conversation over, and you're like, I asked him directly what, and I never got a straight answer, but he made me feel like, yeah, it was all going to be okay, and maybe it would be, maybe it wouldn't be, but he'll keep moving. He's a hard one to kill, Dallas. As far as those people in life that are just slippery enough, incredibly ambitious. He was I created him off of one of just the job and the guy's name and how Soderbergh pitched it to me and what he first told me. I go, give me one hint, line of direction on the phone the very first time. He goes, well, this guy's pretty connected to the UFOs, man. So when he said that, that automatically blows the roof off of where you're going to start grabbing ideas from. Ideas, I was going to the stratosphere. I was going, get elevated, get levitated. This guy is not in the clouds. He's past the clouds. He's past the moon. He's on Pluto, man. And he's got a direct line to the wisdom of the ancient warlords of Valhalla.
Explains a good deal. Now, he also has to be really good at this game, and he's training the other guys.
Yeah.
Now, we know Channing Tatum's guy knows what he's doing, but the young kid comes in, and there's this great scene where you're showing him how to do it.
First scene we shot in the film.
Oh, that must have been a little scary.
Well, it's a great way to jump off, and I was at that point already in the mode of let's get it on, press record, let me give you some, let me perform, Dallas. I was going for, I love that my wardrobe in that, by the way. We went in and there was the guy had sweats, the costume designer had sweats and Nike shoes and stuff. And I'm like, what do you think you're wearing? I was like, Dallas is a choreographer too. Mm-hmm. And this is about the body, and this is about skin. He needs skin-tight everything. I go, this is Baryshnikov meets Richard Simmons. And put that on and went in, and then, I played with the scene and added some very tasty stuff about how to teach the kid and tell him what this is about and how we're fulfilling every woman's fantasy. Set up what the performance, what the ruse is, what the illusion is that we need to sell. It's not that they want your cock. It's they want the idea of it. So it's not personal, but you have to create that, commit to it, and give it to them. So
I like that bit about the G-spot. That's well, it's a lot like Gypsy Rose Lee. It's a lot like what she did. Only it's the other way.
It was a great scene to start off with, and there's a lot of colors. Now I look back at that scene, makes me laugh.
Okay, so then at the end of the movie
is
the scene where you really let it go all the way. And I was like, wow.
All right.
and that's the other thing. You're watching this movie, and it does have an impact. It has a sexual impact.
Yep.
It's not, you can't just, ignore it.
Right.
How was that to prepare and do? How did that feel?
Well, there was the technical side. That was the dare. Kind of for all of us in it, but that was the dare for me. Stephen on the phone said, it's not written yet, but I think it'd be great if Dallas danced at the end. And just as he said that on the phone, my heart rate started speeding up. I started breaking a sweat. And just as that started happening, the other side of my Jiminy Cricket said, oh, yeah, if you don't do this, you'll regret it forever. And I went, absolutely, on the phone. So I made the dare. I made the contract with myself. And I was like, you just had to say yes, didn't you? I was like, yep. And I was like, it's that good kind of fear where you don't know what the outcome's going to be. You don't know how you're going to get there. But the the alternative, if you don't engage with the idea, you're going to regret it. So it was constant choreography. It was big thing for me was finding a song. I see Channing Tatum go dance. It's obvious to me I'm not going to go try and do hip hop.
No.
I'm not going. I got to find what would be Dallas's dance. And I remember I was going through all kinds of tracks when I was running in New Orleans and calling Dr. Love. And I was like, that's Dallas's tune right there. Called Steve and sent the song. Next day I got a call. They go, we've got it cleared. Go work on that song. So started working with these choreographers. And, you know, it starts off, it's a very awkward relationship. Just one, you think you're going to strip, but two, you're in clothes, and you're not dancing like with yourself. You're dancing with each woman, with every woman. You need to make them feel like it's completely personal for them, but yet you're not really containable. And it needs to be, I want it to be incredibly natural and earthy and visceral, and, you know,
and slightly dangerous.
it had to be dangerous. I need to make sure it was I wanted Dallas's dance to be the most lascivious, the most fetishized, the most, oh, he did not. You're not coy. Not coy. Just all the way. Water moccasin. Panther. Go. And so, first thing you do, because when you get nerves, usually your body inverts. The hips go back. Had to really make sure, no, this guy, especially when it's you're walking, it's cock forward. Everything is about that. This is not here up, it's not about here, that is forward. So there's a movement that comes with that.
How much of a dancer's background do you have?
I mean, I can keep rhythm with something, but I make up my own moves. I've never done anything like this, and I'm not an exhibitionist. And I want it to be long and sinewy and greasy and like I said, dangerous, a bit predatory, because that was the kind of illusion and fantasy Dallas could give the women that go to these clubs. That was his version of what he could give them. It was really important for me as Dallas, too, the club owner, was to how do we disseminate each dancer? Because how do we play into it's like I looked at it like it was like a circus. It's a very carny thing, where it's like WWF wrestling. You got to have different characters, mainly for an entertaining 2 hours of the night, to give the women a full ride of this show.
So where does the homoeroticism come in?
Homoeroticism.
There's a kind of relationship with the other men that's interesting, and you know on some level that like the Village People, that there's an aspect of this that is actually playing the other way. It's not just aimed at women.
And from what within the movie?
Sexuality, the hypersexuality, the fetishism that you were describing.
From Dallas?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, look, that's part of Dallas's danger is I think I always approach Dallas like some people may look at him and go, okay, man, he might fuck anything.
Yeah.
You know, he's he's got
polymorphously perverse.
Yeah. And if not, that's what he needs to
make people think.
Come across. Yeah, my back mind, actors have fun doing backstories. Whatever they're worth, whatever they're not. I was always like, he doesn't even have a girlfriend. He's like, goes home and, does his yoga and reads, and it's like, and he loves him some me. He loves him some Dallas. You know what I mean? He's like on another plane where he's almost in a way, when he goes home, he's probably more hermetic. He's more like a monk. But yet, maybe he was like he also might have been this kind of, he had a bit of that 60s sort of harem leader